All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for taking the time tonight to jump on to our weekly team call. So tonight is Tuesday, March 7th. I am super excited to have our speaker tonight. Many of you guys know her as a Beachbody Master Trainer, as a Superstar Diamond Coach. What you don't know is that she came from the world of teaching like so many of you. She was not somebody who hit the ground running in this business. It took her a while to get started. That's what she's here to talk about tonight. I am so lucky to be able to know her, call her a friend. I serve with her on the Dallas Market Council. She lives right down the road. Please welcome this year's CEO Award winner, Danielle Natoni, to our call. So thank you for taking the time. I know we were just talking about it. Danielle just moved over the weekend, so she's taking time out of her unpacking to come on and share her tidbits with us. So I'm going to turn it right over to you. Let me pin you.
Great. Thank you. So pardon my appearance. I normally wouldn't lay on my stomach to do a call, but like Brianne said, we just moved on Friday, and I actually hosted an insanity training all day Saturday and country heat training all day Sunday. So I just have been in a complete frenzy. But it's kind of really cool because this house, this dream house, our forever house, was all built on Beachbody, and it was all built by helping people and changing lives. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys today, and I'm actually thrilled to take a minute to step away from unpacking and the craziness and talk to you guys. So what I'm going to talk to you about tonight is, I don't know that you know me or if you follow me. I don't like to assume that you do. If you've ever done Insanity Max 30, then you may know me as one of the modifiers, and I hope that I was able to help you get through that crazy program in some way, shape, or form. If you're an Insanity instructor or a country heat instructor, then maybe you know me from those videos, and perhaps you've watched my journey of coaching over the years. I am a Superstar Diamond coach. I am a am I five-time elite coach? I'm a five-time elite coach. I'm a millionaire club member. I have been 74 consecutive months in Success Club 10. I was the CEO award winner this summer. I was a top 10 coach in 2012. And I tell you all of those things because I'm going to back it up in a second. When you hear all those things, you're like, wow, man, she's really got it going on. It must always be so, it must have been simple for her. It must have just happened like that. And I have 150,000 followers on Facebook, and I have 115,000 followers on Instagram. And every day, on average, about 6,000 people view my snaps. And I only tell you that because you're like, oh, well, obviously, she's building a big business, and she's probably always had a huge social media following, so it's just always been easy for her. And I forget a lot of times to share how hard it was for me in the beginning and how hard it still can be today. Not every month is just super easy for me. Every month at the start of the month, when I see that 0 in Success Club, look at my husband and I go, well, this is it. This is it. This is the month where the streak ends. Like, it's done. It's over. I'm not going to hit it. Like, I panic just like everyone else. So I share all those accolades, not because I want to toot my own horn, because honestly, like, I'm just a girl still wearing her sweaty sports bra from 8 a.m. this morning who absolutely went to Costco and Target looking just like this, knowing potentially she could run into somebody. And I always say, guess what? I walked around Target and nobody cared. Nobody knew who I was. I'm only relevant in the Beachbody community. But the reason I tell you all of that is because as I back up, I want you to know that everything that I've accomplished, you can absolutely accomplish, and you can do it bigger than me. I am no more special or talented than you are, and I mean that 100%. Everything I've done and accomplished, you can do, and you can do bigger and better than me. The only difference may be that I show up every single day. Like, you cannot out consistency me, if that's like a word, like if I can turn that into a verb. Like, I show up every single day no matter what. So how I became a coach, actually I'm coming up on my 7-year coaching anniversary. April 15th, 2010 will be my 7-year coach anniversary. And I know the date, not because it was tax day, but because I was an elementary school teacher. And we got paid on the 15th of the month, and we got paid once a month. And that was it. And on that day, that was the day things could get paid. I paid my mortgage, I paid my car payment, I paid the electricity, and if there was anything left over, I was lucky. I struggled, I lived paycheck to paycheck, and honestly, I didn't even make it from paycheck to paycheck. So much so that I got into a very dangerous thing called payday loan debt. And payday loan debt is something that should be illegal. Payday loan should not be legal because once I took out one, you have like 7 days to pay it all back, and there's like a 60% interest rate. And so I would take out another one to pay the other one, and then I would take out another one until I had like 9 payday loans and couldn't pay any of them. And so when I came to Beachbody, I was looking for something. I had always had a side job. I'm a hustler. I've always been a hustler. So even though I was an elementary school teacher, I would bartend at Chili's 2 nights a week to make my daycare payments. So I've always had like this side hustle mentality. And I had stopped that for a little bit. And so I was at this like crux. I was at this place of like, shit, I think I got to get a second job again. And you guys, not that there's anything wrong with that. I was just done with it. You know what I mean? So let's see, if I'm coming up on 7 years and I'm 38. So I was 31. I was like, I'm 31 years old. Is this really my life? Like, I'm in an unhappy marriage. I was in a different marriage at the time. I can't stand him. We hate each other. We have no money. And I'm in debt. Creditors are calling my house. They're calling my work. They're calling my parents. Like, is this really my life? And so I could have gone back to waiting tables, which is what I've always done, and it's quick, easy cash in the pocket. But I was done. I didn't want it anymore. So I thought, okay, I like fitness. Now, this may make you want to punch me right in the face, but I've always been fit. Like, I'm sorry, like I've always been fit. It's just, I've gotten fitter over the years, but I've never had a weight problem. And so I was always the girl that went to the gym. If you've heard my story before, you may have heard me say, I used to do Denise Austin in my living room. I loved her. Raise your hand if you know who Denise Austin is. If you don't, you're probably super young. Okay, she would come on Lifetime in the morning, and she would work out on the beach, and she was like super cheesy, and I loved her, and it was free. And so that's how I started. And then what I would always do is I would somehow figure out a way to afford a gym membership, because that was my hour. I didn't have to go home yet from my job, and I could work out. The people at the gym knew me and liked me, and I felt good there. I didn't know that instructors don't make any money, and they just do it because they're passionate. But in my mind, I saw these instructors with this big, great hair, and these fancy outfits and all this energy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to become a group fitness instructor, and I'm going to solve all my financial problems, and life is going to be amazing. And I was kind of right. I just didn't realize there was a different path to get there. And so I asked my gym manager. I worked out at 24-Hour Fitness, and I went up to him and I said, hey, if I were to become a group fitness instructor, would you guys hire me? And he's like, sure. I'm like, awesome. How do we do that? So he said, well, we're actually partnered with a company called Powder Blue Productions. Have you ever heard of them? I'm like, no. Well, Powder Blue Productions, you guys, was Chalene Johnson's company that at the time had Hip Hop Hustle, Turbo Kick, and Pio. And he said, have you ever heard of Turbo Kick? I'm like, no. What is that? He's like, it's kickboxing. Do you like kickboxing? I'm like, no, I don't like that. But I'm a dancer. I was a former dancer. He's like, well, if you like dance, you'll like this. And I thought, okay. So I took my tax return, you guys. Back then, the government used to give me back money instead of me having to give them all of my money. So I took my tax return and I said, okay, I'm going to sign up for this Turbo Kick thing. I don't know what it is. They said they'll hire me and it must be great. And honestly, that was one of the best decisions I ever made. So I went to that training that day, not knowing what to expect, and I walked in. And I don't know if you guys know my upline. Her name is Jackie Woodfin. Look her up. She has this big old blonde Texas hair and this sweet Southern voice. And I walked in and she said, don't you come walking in here with them long legs into my training, girl. And I thought, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. She's everything I thought a group fitness instructor would be. And I was mesmerized. So at lunch, instead of sitting with the other people there, I sat with her and I talked with her. And she said, Danielle, I make more doing Beachbody than I do this. have you ever heard of Beachbody? And I'm like, no. See, I didn't have that. You know, so many of my coaches now, almost all of them, were customers. And they had amazing results with our programs. I didn't have that. I'd never heard of us. She says, well, have you ever heard of Insanity? And I'm like, nope. And she's like, no. Really good looking black guy, abs, hip hop abs, TV. I'm like, maybe, I'm not super sure. And so then she says, what about P90X? And I said, oh, PX90. Yep, heard of that. I know exactly what PX90 is, right? How many of you guys have had a customer ask you about PX90? And you're like, do I correct them? Do I not? So I said, okay, yeah, I've heard of PX90. And she said, listen, I just came back from Hawaii. So that was the Success Club trip that year, okay? So she said, I just came back from Hawaii. And at the time, I had never traveled. Never, not once. And I said, really? You went to Hawaii? She said, yeah. And she said, and I was in an infomercial. So she was in the Turbo Jam infomercial. So in my mind, what I heard was, okay, you can travel. I've never done that. You can make money. I need that. You can be on TV. I want that. I always thought growing up I was meant to be on TV. I don't know why. I'm not an actress. I really don't have any talent. But I always felt like I was meant to be on TV. I was like, okay, those are 3 things I want. Check, check, check. So I went home that night and I told my now ex-husband, I said, I did it. I solved all our problems. We're no longer going to be in debt. Life is going to be awesome. I'm going to be a Beachbody coach. He said, what's a Beachbody coach? I'm like, I have no idea, but she is so pretty. And I just believe her. So that night I went into my office I guess it wasn't even an office back then. And I got on the computer and I went to sign up. And back then we didn't have challenge packs. That was back when you had to walk 7 miles uphill in the snow to become a Beachbody coach. And so I went and I got on and I said, okay, $39.95. And I looked at my banking app. Okay, I can do $39.95. So then I got to the next thing and there was an upgrade screen and it said upgrade to Shakeology. So I texted her. I don't know what Shakeology is, but I don't have $89.96. That's how much it used to cost back then. So I said, I don't have $89.96, so I have to have this Shakeology. Oh yeah, you have to have it. It's amazing. It's, you know, all the things you tell the people, right? Like, oh, you have to have it. I don't think I can. You need it. It'll help you build your business. Do you trust me? Yes, I trust you. Okay. So I bought it. Click send. Whoa, I'm a coach. You guys, not even 1 hour later, I sent in my cancellation. I had a major panic attack. Oh my God, what did I just do? I don't have the money in my account for that plus the $39.95 plus the tax plus the shipping. What did I just do? Something's going to bounce tomorrow. Oh shit, this is network marketing. Oh my God, this is a pyramid scheme. So I text her immediately, can I cancel? If I cancel, what happens? Will they give me my money back? She said, they'll give you your money back, but I can't guarantee it'll be in there tomorrow. I said, okay, I'm going to cancel. And she said, I just want you to know, if you cancel, you can't sign up under anyone else. And I said, that's not what this is about. I said, I am panicking right now. I do not have money for this. So I sent in my cancellation form. Same night I became a coach. This was in March. And so the next day I bounced checks because the money didn't get put back in time. And so I went into the negative. And so I say that going into the negative was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because you know how you never hear about something and then all of a sudden it's the only thing you ever heard about? So I had never heard of Beachbody before, but now that I was going to be a coach and then canceled to be a coach and put my account into the negative and couldn't pay anything, the next day I went to work at my elementary school. The teacher across the hall came over to me because they all knew I worked out, so they'd ask me things. And she said, hey, have you ever heard of something called TurboFire? And I said, oh, I was like, yeah, I've heard of TurboFire. I know, yes. And why? And she's like, I think it's coming out and I've done Turbo Jam before. I'm thinking I'm going to buy it. I said, no, don't buy it. I said, oh my God. I said, I'm not a coach, but well, I was a coach for like a second. And maybe I'm going to be one again. I don't know. Please, please, please don't buy it, because maybe you'll be my first customer. So I basically was like, please don't. And she did. She became my first customer. And that next weekend, I took another training, another Powder Blue Productions training, PIO, with Melissa McAllister. You guys know Melissa? So I took a PIO training, and back then, master trainers could say things about coaching we're not allowed to now. And so she said, hey, stand up in this room if you are a Beachbody coach. And like 8 people stood up in this PIO training. And I looked around, and I'm like, all these people are coaches, and they do, and Melissa is so pretty too. Man, there must be something to this. So I decided that on my next payday, I would join again. And so 1 month later, April 15th, 2010, I became a coach, and my teacher across the hall is my first customer. So you're like, wow, that was a really long, lengthy story. Obviously, okay, but you were successful immediately. Wrong. So I became Emerald right away because I'm persistent and loud and cute and funny, and people like me. Okay, so that worked for like a minute. But let me tell you why I wasn't successful. So remember that shake that she said I had to have that I bought and couldn't afford? Well, I wasn't drinking it because I'm already fit. Fit people don't drink shakes. Shakes are stupid. So I don't care that I can't afford it and then I'm buying it anyway. I'm not drinking a shake. I eat food, okay? Healthy people eat food. I'm not doing this shake. So I didn't drink Shakeology. So when people would ask me about it, I'm like, ooh, it's good. It's got lots of vitamins. Yep, and it's really good. So, and back then, you guys, we had 2 flavors, chocolate and green nasty. Do any of you like greenberry? Are you the, like, you know how there's like 1 in the room? So weird. You guys all like greenberry? So strange. Anyway, that was back before it was reformulated. It was like, anyway. So people would ask me about Shakeology. I'm like, I don't know, it's a shake. People like it. So then I also wasn't doing one of our workout programs. The girl who is known for like pushing you that you have to be proof the products work wasn't doing one of our workout programs because I'm like, home workouts? You want me to work out at home? Are you kidding me? Fit people work out at home. They go to the gym and walk around and look at all the machines and stare at themselves in the mirror. That's what I do. That's what fit people do. I don't work out at home. Meanwhile, we had P90X, Insanity, Yoga Booty Ballet. Have you ever seen that one? Like, if you've had a little bit too much to drink one night, go look up Yoga Booty Ballet and watch the Samba one. Because that's what I bought. Because I'm like, well, I can afford that. It was like, I don't know, $9. So I wasn't doing our workout program. I wasn't drinking the shake. And I damn sure wasn't doing personal development. Because even though my life was completely jacked up, I was pretending to be perfect when life was anything but. I was absolutely miserable. I was broken, both emotionally and financially. I refused to do personal development because I'm like, I don't cut up Barbie heads and put them in shoe boxes under my bed. And that's who personal development is for. So I'm essentially perfect, so I'm not going to read a book. This is the mindset that I had back then. So you can see why I didn't shoot up in rank. Because when people would say, oh, you know, what are you doing? You're a Beachbody coach. And I'd say, yeah, you should buy P90X. There's like pull-ups and stuff. And he's real funny, and they've sold like 1 million copies, so it must be good. Like, you guys, this was literally my pitch. And so I got to Emerald. I had tons of coaches under me, only because I was good at talking to the people I knew. So by the time I was done and actually successful in this business and I quit my job, I had every person in my elementary school on Shakeology or on a program or as a coach. So I was doing okay in the fact that I could sign people up, but I was making $14 here, $28 there. I was spending more than I was bringing in, which defeated the entire purpose of me joining. My ex-husband hated Beachbody, hated everything about it, was not supportive, could not have said more negative shit about it. And I was just at this place of like, all right, I think I'm going to have to quit this and go back to waiting tables. And so let's see, I joined April 15th of 2010, and I did not hit Success Club for the first time until January of 2011. So what is that, 8 months? 8 months, and I had never hit Success Club, and I never broke even or made money. So what changed? So in November of 2010, I decided, all right, I'm going to go to this event. There was a live event. They were called Game Plan Trainings. And they were all day. And it was like an hour from where I lived, which was a big deal because I don't didn't travel back then, didn't really go anywhere. And I thought, this is it. I'm going to go to this meeting and it's going to work, or I'm going to go to this meeting and I'm going to quit finally. And I'm going to just go get a second job because this isn't working. So I went to this meeting, and that was the meeting that forever changed my business. And I was sitting at that meeting when people came across and told their success stories, and every single success story mentioned the workout program they were doing, the shake they were drinking, and their favorite book. And I thought, well, shit, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that. Weird. When here I am sitting here, an Emerald coach, no one knows who I am. I'm not making any money. Interesting. And you may have heard this before on a National Wake Up Call, but Caroline Van Zant, who lives in the area, and I was teaching classes, and she used to teach class before me. She prances her little butt right up on the stage, and she says, I joined April of 2010. I'm like, oh, this is when I joined. And she says, and I'm a diamond coach, and I pay my mortgage with what I make with Beachbody. And I about lost it. Like, if I could have thrown a hissy fit right then and there, I would have. And I realized, I'm like, well, if she can do it, why am I sitting here like in the negative, not doing anything with it? So I vowed at that moment that would be it. So I was like, all right, I'll read one of these books. So I started with The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. It's very similar to The Compound Effect. A lot of people don't read The Slight Edge anymore because he went and started his own network marketing company. So The Compound Effect is very similar. It's the idea that these small behaviors over time lead to big change, right? And so then I was like, all right, I guess I should start drinking this shake. And I don't know that I've missed a day ever since then. Like, literally cannot live without it. Don't know what I would do without it. And I'm not just saying that. Like, it is, you guys know, I don't know if I'm preaching to the choir, right? And then I was like, all right, well, guess I'll do one of these workout programs. Which one should I do? I don't know about that PX90 guy. No, certainly that Turbo Fire, she's cute and all, but I don't know. Insanity. That looks pretty tough. Can you imagine how different my life would be if I didn't do Insanity? Oh my God, you guys. Like, are you even kidding me right now? So I did my first round of Insanity. It was death and it was life. And you guys, everything changed. So end of November 2010, it clicks. Shit, you got to be proof the products work. And it was a thing back then. It wasn't a secret. No one was hiding that. And so I became a diamond coach. January of 2011, I hit Success Club for the first time. I've never missed it ever since. I've never missed Success Club 10 ever since. And let me just give you another idea. January of 2012, so 1 year later of starting Success Club, was my first month as a full-time Beachbody coach. So I want that to sink in for a minute. The first 8 months of my business, I did nothing. I struggled, and I was doing stuff, man. I was talking to people, but I was talking all wrong because I didn't have any kind of, story to share. And I was printing out business cards and flyers, and I was, making a list and checking it twice and doing all the gross network marketing stuff you're supposed to do, and nothing. And then in January, I'm like, okay, drink the shake, do the program, read the book. Oh, and by the way, I got on this thing called Facebook, right? I had a Facebook barely because I'm from Florida and I had moved to Texas. And so I would post every once in a while about my kids because to keep up with my family. And no, not my parents because they weren't on Facebook, and my friends I used to teach with. So I'm like, well, some of these people post on Facebook about their business. Maybe I could do that. So I started with Danielle's Fit Tip of the Day. That's what I would do. And I would buy magazines and I would open them and I'd spin my finger round and round and I'd slam my finger down on a random page and a tip. And then I would turn that into my voice. And I know, because you know that on this day on your phone, on Facebook, and it shows you how atrocious your whole posts were. I'm like, oh my God, that post had 2 likes and I don't doubt it. But you guys, small, consistent behavior over time, showing up every single day has led me to where I'm at now. So I'm like, okay, I'll post on Facebook and I'll drink the shake, do the workout, read the book, and I'll talk to people. Okay. So I started hitting Success Club and I never missed it. And 1 year later, I became a full-time Beachbody coach. And let's think about this for a minute. Oh, I guess I didn't tell you that my ex-husband didn't work. So I was the only income as a teacher in debt. So while teachers don't make a grand thing, salary, I was making enough that I felt comfortable enough to leave my teaching job and support my entire family. I felt that rooted and grounded in who we are and what we do within 1 year's time. I went to my first summit. Didn't know anyone. It was the first time I'd ever gone on an airplane, not with my parents. Think about that for a minute. It's crazy. And that was the first time I'd ever traveled. And now I think I'm on an airplane more than I'm at home. And so I went to that summit and I didn't know anyone. And I roomed with 2 people that I didn't know. And it was the best summit ever. And I thought, okay, there's something to this. All these people, I want to be one of those people on that stage. I think I can do that. I can be one of those people on that stage. And so I came home and I became a Star Diamond. And then the next year, let's see. So I became a full-time coach in 2012. January 2012. What year did I become a top 10 coach? I finished out 2012 as the number 5 coach in the network. So what's my point to all of this? Well, I could have given up in the very beginning. I could have given up and said, well, I'm not going to sign up to be a coach at all because she wants me to buy this stupid shake I can't afford. Or after I quit, I could have said, no, I'm you know what? My gut reaction was probably right. This is a scheme. It is network marketing. I'm not a salesperson. I probably shouldn't do this. Or after I joined, I could have watched other people have success while I sat in the negative, while I wasn't doing good, and thought, well, this isn't for me, and quit. Then I realized it was for me, but I was the problem. I wasn't doing what other people were doing. This business is not rocket science. Do what smart and successful people tell you to do. Follow what they do and then just do it and you'll have success. So I'm like, all right. So I started watching people I looked up to. Looked up to Melissa McAllister, really looked up to Barbie Decker back then, Barbie Caleb now, right? And I was like, okay, if these people, I'm going to watch them and I'm going to do what they do. And, Jimmy Nelson and Robert Hudgens and all these people, I'm like, I'm going to do what they do. And I'm going to listen and I'm going to be coachable. And I'm not going to think I have all the answers because I don't have any of them. And by doing that, I took my business that for 8 months, didn't do anything, didn't hit Success Club, wasn't earning money. No one knew who I was. I wasn't on any rank boards. I wasn't some shoot to success. And you guys, even if you want to take it a step further, I wasn't the first person to hit Superstar Diamond. I was actually the 42nd person to become a Superstar Diamond. So there were people who hit it in 2 years when it took me almost 5. I wasn't the first person to hit the Millions Club because guess what? I don't care. The only person that I am competing with is myself. Lindsay Matway started around the same time as me. Sure, I could compare the fact that she's 4 Superstar Diamond and I'm only 1 and go, well, I suck, I give up. Who cares? What this business has done for my life, simply by listening and going at the pace that is right for me, is incredible. It gave me a career in fitness. It gave me a freaking husband. It bought us this house. Add disclaimer. So, here's the thing, you guys. You might be sitting there feeling successful, or you might be sitting there feeling deflated. But either way, it is totally in your control. I am no more special or talented than you. I did not come into this with a huge social media following. I didn't come into this with a marketing background. I didn't come into this with some grand understanding of network marketing. I was just a girl in debt, miserable, who decided to get out of her own way, leave her ego at the door, and start doing what other people were doing. And what I was doing then and to what I am doing now is the same. I wake up, I do my workout, I drink my shake, I read a book, I post on social, and I talk to people in real life. And I repeat. And that's it. I've been moving, and you know what I still do every morning? I've gotten up, even though we need to unpack, and I've gone into this room and I did my workout. My husband and I were talking about that yesterday. He's like, you're so consistent, it's ridiculous. And I'm like, because that's the magic sauce in this business. I don't make the fanciest graphics and I don't put together the best trainings. But what I do is show up every single day. And once I figured out back then that all I had to do was show up and I could build a successful business, that's what I've stuck with. So here I am a 15-star diamond in Business Center 1. I'm going to turn 7-star diamond in my 2nd business center on Thursday, a 3-star diamond in my 3rd business center, a 2-star diamond in my 4th business center, a 1-star qualifying diamond in my 5th business center. All of that. And guess what? I'm not doing anything different than I was back then. I wake up, I drink my shake, do my workout, I read a book, I post on social, and I talk to people in real life, and I repeat. And on occasion, I do a call. And on occasion, I do a training. But none of that matters. You can make all the fancy graphics in the world, and you're kidding yourself if you think you're doing the work. The work starts with you. You have to be in one of our workout programs from start to finish until the end of freaking time. If you've listened to one of my previous National Wake Up Calls, you know that I have said, if you don't do one of our workout programs, if you're not drinking our shake, if you are not bleeding Beachbody Blue, then it is like owning Apple and using an Android. Do you really think that Steve Jobs was walking around with an Android or a BlackBerry in his pocket? No. So the same is true of you. So anyway, I know I've been rambling, and you're like, damn, is she ever gonna shut up? We got stuff to do. Here's the deal. I wanted to tell you all that, and I wanted to give you all the backstory because I think sometimes people look at me and like put me on some weird pedestal, and it's flattering. You guys are so sweet, and I'm always really like humbled and honored to meet all of you guys, especially when you're inspired by me. I'm not different than you. I'm just a girl who has screwed up in life and has figured it out. And if I can give you one solid piece of advice is know that if you want to rock this business, you have everything in front of you to do it. You've got an amazing leader in Brienne. She has shown you what to do. Listen to what she does and repeat it. If you want to be successful, you absolutely can, but you have to get off this call and make the decision. You got to get off this call and in the morning, wake up and do your workout. And you got to drink your shake. And you have to read and listen to personal development. You have to. And when I say personal development, I don't just mean the feel-good box. I don't just mean like, you're a badass. I mean, it should serve in what you need in your life right now. And I want you to also know that there's personal development, there's business development, and then in my personal opinion, you should also be reading fitness and nutrition development. Okay, so you should be reading personal development, and the personal piece needs to plug into what are your deficits, right? Like what is it? Are you struggling with confidence? Are you struggling with doubt? Are you struggling with spirituality? Are you struggling with a negative spouse? Like, right? So your personal development should be personal to you and your deficiencies. Business development is, again, all right, what do you need? Do you need to know more about social media? Do you need to know more about, being online? Do you need to know more about leadership? Do you need to know more about network marketing? And then we are health and fitness coaches. And while you don't have to be a personal trainer, and you don't have to be a group exercise instructor, and you don't have to be a dietitian, it is dangerous of you to think that you shouldn't become more knowledgeable in our space. Like, you know what I mean? Because your customers are coming to you with issues, right? Your customers are coming to you with sugar addictions. Your customers are coming to you with grain problems. Your customers are coming to you with disease, or maybe they're a vegan, or maybe, you know what I mean? Like, so learn. You should want to be so knowledgeable that when a challenger comes to you and says, gosh, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but I'm only sleeping 4 hours a day. And you can go, oh, that's because sleep's the most important thing. And here's a book I recommend, Sleep Smarter by Sean Stevenson. And, reading books about sleep and nutrition and wellness and meditation and mindfulness. These are all part of your job. You know what your job is? To be the best human possible, to be just to make yourself the healthiest on the outside and the inside so that you can inspire others to do the same. So wake up, drink your shake, do your workout, read a book, post on social, and talk to people. And I promise you that you can be as successful as me, if not more. I challenge you to beat me. I would love for you to beat me because I'm good. I'm happy. I love my life. I love the pace that I'm in. I still have goals, but I don't look left and right. I look forward. So please surpass me, beat me, and say that the reason that you did it is it wasn't graphics or trainings or you didn't worry about you sat stagnant for a year, 2 years. There are some coaches who didn't really rock their business until 2-3 years in. Who gives a shit when you decided to rock it, as long as you decided to rock it. We are in an amazing time right now. Beachbody On Demand is incredible. If you're a part of the Beachbody Champions page, I encourage you tomorrow to get on at 10 a.m. Central Time. I'm going to do a 20-minute training on exactly all the value that there is in All Access Challenge Pack and why you shouldn't be scared of it. why you shouldn't be scared of it, because it's amazing. We are in a time right now where you can absolutely explode your business. It's not saturated. It's what everyone needs. So go out there, rock your business, make the decision that tomorrow is the first day of your success. You might already be successful. I don't know. But get off this call and go, all right, starting tomorrow, this is it. This is the road to my success. I'm going to do it, because you are absolutely capable. So that's all I have. Brianne, I don't know if you want them to ask me questions, or if you're like, please, you went 8 minutes over. Let me know.
You are fantastic. No, if anybody has questions, guys, you can type them. You can unmute yourselves. I know some of you are on phones, so I don't know how you're going to do that, but if you can figure it out, go ahead. Did you have any questions? My mom is in town visiting, so she's.
Hi, Mom.
Do you have any questions? No. No.
I have a question.
Okay.
How do you inspire coaches? Like, how do you, especially if they're not taking off right away, how do you keep people excited and seeing that vision?
I don't. Here's the thing. You can't. So this is going to sound harsh. I'm a little bit of like a tough love kind of coach. But here's the thing. I can't get anyone to be inspired, and I can't make anyone work their business. What I can do is I can lead by example, and you either want to join me or you don't. And if you don't, I only work with the willing, meaning like I have this one coach who she has dropped and fallen. And every time she falls, I let her. And when she's ready, because I lead by example, I take her back in. But I don't constantly reach out to her, hey, what's going on? Because here's the thing. You either want it or you don't. And at the end of the day, we're all independent Team Beachbody coaches. We don't need an upline to build this business. I think Christina Delgado said it best. She said, I will help, period. You build your business, not I will help you build your business. So the thing of it is, you keep doing you. You be like the best you possible, and you show up every single day, and then if that doesn't inspire them, you know what I mean? Like, what can you do? And I know that's probably not the answer you want to hear, but I learned a long time ago to stop putting all my energy into the people who won't, and give all my energy to the people who will, because those are the people who deserve it the most. And I always liken that to when I was an elementary school teacher. Who got the most attention when you're a teacher? The bad kids and the low kids, right? The kids that struggle and the kids that are bad. They get all the attention. But what about the kid that is really trying their ass off for you? Do they get all your attention? No. They're the one that deserves it, right? And so that's how I feel about my coaches. Like, I give all of them the same benefit of the doubt when we start. But I'm only going to pour my energy, my time, my soul into the people that deserve it. And those are the people that have a slight bit of go-getter in them that I'm not going to have to babysit. Because what I'm not is a manager. I'm not a manager. I'm a leader. I'm an inspirer. I'm a motivator, right? So if you have to manage your people and force them to build a business, they're not the ones. Then you need to go find more people. I always say for every 10 coaches I bring in, maybe 3 of them are actually going to do something with the business. And of those 3, maybe one will actually be really good at it. So who deserves my energy? The 7 that say they want to do something but can't even pick up a book or get on a national wake-up call? Or the 3 that get on every team call, to every training, to their power hours, hit Success Club. So focus on your doers and not your don'ters. And that's hard, especially as a female. I think that's hard for us. If you're a mom or your wife, right? Like, we have this gene in us where we want everyone to do well. But I always say, not everyone deserves a trophy, and not everyone should get off the bench. And this is the same case. So you can't want it for people. And so be the best you possible. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being a great leader and a motivator and an inspirer, if that's a word. And if they come along for the ride, great. And if they don't deserve your time and energy.
Thank you. That helped.
Yeah. They're all like, no.
Danielle, did you build most of your business on Facebook, or you built most of it in person, right? When you started?
When I started, most of it was built on, okay, so this is what I'll say. And actually, this is what I still train my coaches. When I started, I built mostly in person. However, I was creating trust online. Does that make sense? Right? So in other words, right now, I only build on social. 100% of the coaches that I get or customers I get come from social media. It took time. So in the beginning, and this is why I teach my new coaches, is when you're a new coach, start with who you know. Who do you work with? Who goes to your kids' schools, right? Like go to community events, show up at parties, right? Like, and while you're doing that, you're starting to build up trust on social media. You're starting to infuse, these posts. But where people go wrong is like, oh, I'm going to build on social media. Hi, I'm a coach. And now I'm going to go from posting only about my dog to posting about the shake every day. That takes time. It takes time for people to really believe that you're doing this for the long haul, that they can trust you, that this is not just a sale. So what I say is you build locally and with who you know first, who knows, likes, and trusts you already. And while you're doing that, you are at the same time building up your social so that one point it can flip-flop. And then the majority of your business can be built on social, while pretty infrequently you're building face-to-face. But in the beginning, the people who know, like, and trust you are right in your space. So that's the people who you want to start with. And then at the same time, you're starting to build up that trust with people on social media, which takes time. It takes time to build trust. If you think about that, have you ever really thought about what we ask people to do? We ask people, especially now with the All Access Challenge Pack, to spend $200 with someone they never met, with a thumbnail that's about this big. So based on a photo this big, we ask people to spend $200 and to give us their social security number if they're going to be a coach. $200 in social security. Do you know how much trust that requires to buy something for $200 from someone you don't know off the internet? That requires a lot of trust. That takes time. So start by building your warm market, and at the same time, start planting the seeds on social media so that people trust you, so that when it's time, you can make the magic flip-flop and most of your business can be built on social. Did that answer your question? One more?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Does anybody else have any other questions before we let Danielle go?
I do.
Hi, go ahead.
I don't know.
I'm
just trying to figure out who it was. Go ahead.
Sorry. First off, huge fan. Max 30 is like my soulmate workout.
You're a huge friend, not a fan. Fan sounds weird.
Well, yes, I guess so. But so what I struggle with the most, I've been a coach for about a year.
Okay.
I still have a full-time job. So personal development, I know, is super important, so I'm really working on that. But the thing I think I struggle with the most is actually getting like the invites, like putting myself out there and talking to people. I kind of wait for them to come to me, which obviously is not the best route to go. I know. So do you have any tips on how to kind of reach out to people, or like how to kind of work your way into areas?
What do you do for a living?
Funnily enough, a health and safety officer.
Okay. So you work like a standard like day job?
Yeah.
And then, okay. So first things first is I worked full-time the whole time too. And so, number one is you have to be so scheduled, right? And that includes when you're going to invite. So what I would do back then is I was like, here's the thing. I don't advocate no sleep. However, I do advocate no sleep for short pockets of time. So in other words, I have the liberty now to, make sure I get 8 hours of sleep. But back then I would wake up at 4 to do my workout before school. And sometimes I wouldn't go to bed till midnight. But I said to myself, okay, am I going to do this forever? If I do this for a year, I know it'll pay off. So first things first is wake up earlier and go to bed later. And that's just the reality. If there's not enough hours in your day, create them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then the thing is, though, is you can't just do that and not have a plan. So, okay, I'm going to do my workout, from 4 to 4:30. Then from 4:30 to 5, I'm going to shower and get ready. And while I do that, I'm going to have my personal development on, and I'm going to listen to it, so that I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Great. I've knocked out 2 things. Now I'm going to drink my shake. Boom. I've got, 3 of the things done before I've even gone to work. Right. And then you need to be so scheduled. And so I would write into my calendar. It would say things like, follow up Shakeology, and I would mark it off on a time. I quit eating lunch in the teacher's lounge. I don't know what you do for lunch, but I quit eating lunch in the teacher's lounge. And, I quit going places with people. I gave up a social life. And so I don't know what your life is like, or, what you're willing to give up or not give up. But, you've heard the saying, do what most won't to live a life. Wait, that saying, look that up. You know what I mean? Do what most can't to live a life that most something. That saying? Well, it's that same idea. And as far as inviting is concerned, yeah, here's the deal. No one wants a coach. Like you would never go seek out help from someone who's like not the best, right? Like, so if your kid played baseball, you wouldn't go to a coach who's like, yeah, I mean, I like baseball. It's pretty good. Yeah. I could help your kid with baseball, right? Like you would never go to that coach. So the same is true with us as health and fitness coaches. Yes, you have to go make the invite. You have to talk to people. You have to be the one in charge of the relationship, because if I need help with my health and fitness, I want to know that that's coming from someone who's confident in what they're doing. So, you need to reach out to 5 people a day, bare minimum. And that may mean that it's just 5 hey girl messages. I call them hey girl or yo bro messages, right? So it's like, hey girl, haven't talked to you in a while, blah, blah, blah. Yo bro, see that you just went to a game. Like it could just be a conversation starter. And eventually the conversation may get to Beachbody or it may not. And then guess what? Sometimes you just have to go for the ask. Sometimes you know what I mean? Like you have to close the deal. So maybe you've been having a conversation with somebody and sometimes you just have to say, hey, have you ever considered replacing 1 meal a day with Shakeology? Or, hey, have you ever heard of the 21-day fix containers? I really think it could help you based on the fact that you say portion control is your biggest issue. Like you also have to be not afraid to do what we do. I think part of people being afraid to invite is you're not ashamed, that's not the right word, but you're a little worried of what you'll come across by, if you say, hey, have you ever considered drinking Shakeology? And you're also worried about what happens after that. No, I haven't. Tell me more about Shakeology. Oh crap. Well, now you got to answer that, right? So, my number 1 tips to you is 1, wake up earlier and go to bed later. Number 2, schedule out your day. So and here's the other thing. If you are working full time still, you need to have designated Beachbody hours and they need to be uninterrupted and your family needs to know about them. So what I used to do is they were on my fridge. And so it would say from 6 to 7 Beachbody. And my deal with the kids was, if you give me that 1 hour uninterrupted, then the rest of the evening, I won't do Beachbody, right? But in that hour, I wasn't scrolling on Facebook. I was reaching out to people. I was working from my list. I was doing follow-ups. And here's the thing, that over time pays off. Sometimes you don't see the fruit of your labors right away, but the next month, all of a sudden, some of these people are responding back to you. So you need to be super scheduled. So say, all right, if I work 8 to 5 every day and, I'm going to do my workout and listen to personal development from 4 to 5, but I have a lunch break from 12 to 1. So 12 to 1 is a designated Beachbody work power hour. And I'm going to reach out to 5 people, do 5 follow-ups, whatever. And I don't know if Brianne's talked to you about Teamzy. I don't use it, but my team does. A lot of people on my team does. There's a 30-day free trial. They don't take your credit card, so it could just be 30 days free. But for people who are working, I recommend it because it tells you, here are the people you should be reaching out to today. And if you don't, then basically you don't get to check off the box. And then I don't know about you, but I like to check off boxes. So I think that would help. But, the other thing too is I don't know your workspace or if you work in an office with people, but by the time I left my elementary school, every parent, every principal, every janitor, everybody was a customer or coach of mine in some way, shape, or form. So, start with the people you work with. Those are the people you should be inviting. Have organic conversations with them. Make your shake at work. Bring your food in your fix containers. Somebody says they're tired, pop them a pack of Energize. I don't know. Just be the one. Be the lady at work that they're oh, here she comes. She's the Beachbody lady. So what? I'd rather be the Beachbody lady all day long than the happy hour lady, than the lady that gets drunk at all the office parties. So, sorry. I have long-winded answers to questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And that's it. And make your family billboards too. Like my husband, he takes his shake to work. He keeps stuff in the truck. He's got everything everywhere, and he keeps it when he's in the office. He brings it in. He's got his little portable blender. Like,
my kids wear more Beachbody apparel, and it's not on purpose. So whenever I'm like giving away clothes or I get like free stuff, they take it. Like my kids wear Beachbody all the time, and not because I make them. Like they're just walking like Beachbody kids.
Maddie wore her Shakeology shirt to the park today. I mean, that's it. That's all I dress in. I feel like that's all that, I own. And you just become a walking billboard for it. But, everything Danielle said, that's how I built my business. You put in those hours. My girls were way younger than Danielle's when I started this. They were 1 and 4. And I had a husband who was working 80 hours a week for the first 6 months of my business. And the second 6 months, he was gone. He was traveling. And I went to bed at 12 or 1, and I was up at 4 to work out and get everything in. And you have to find the hidden hours, because that's where all of that success is. That's, where it lies. Nobody sees those hours. You see her name in lights, and you see her name on stage, and you see her being celebrated, but you don't see all those hidden hours that it took for her to get to, to get to where she is. And that's really where all that magic comes from, is from the hours that nobody sees. So does anybody else have any last questions? I feel like we've kept you so long. Does anybody else have any questions before we hop off?
They're like, no, because she gives a 30-minute answer every time. Again, I'm very talkative. I can't help it. It's part of my
So, all right. Well, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. I know you guys are so crazy with everything going on, so I appreciate you taking the time out tonight to hop on and chat with us, guys. This recording will be up and posted. I can send you the link, Danielle, if you want it for you. But thank you guys so much for hopping on, and we will see everybody next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.